Hey everybody, it's Jax again from the Popcorn Review Podcast. Today's my episode 59. We're going to do a movie review on Fear Street, Prom Queen, and Sinners. Well, I want to start off with Fear Street, Prom Queen. Honestly, overall, I gave this movie about an 8. The gore was great. Building a story. If you guys watch the old Fear Streets, they had like part 1, part 2, part 3. Went as far back as showing their ancestors. So this one had a couple flashbacks of what transpired before this movie. So I'm pretty sure if they get the green light, they're probably going to do at least a part 2, maybe even a part 3 to make it a trilogy. The gore, like I said, was in here. The story was great. And it's just that, Fear Street Prom Queen. It was a couple of girls. They all wanted to be prom queen. And one girl in particular, don't want to spoil it too much, was willing to kill for it, and even her parents. So you guys go watch that. It's really good. It's on Fear Street Prom Queen is on Netflix again. Give it an 8, a solid 8 overall. Great gore, great build for the story. I've liked R.L. Stine as a kid. Used to read his books. Used to watch Goosebumps back when it used to be on Fox. Even saw the new Goosebumps series on Disney Plus. And right now, Fear Street. I would say Fear Street, even though it's still pertaining to kids, high school kids. It's more of a Fear Street. I feel like it's more of an adult version of R.L. Stine stories, if that makes sense to anybody. But again, really good story. Um, can't wait to see it, honestly. Hopefully they come out with Fear Street Prom Queen Part 2, showing what happened with the kids' parents, back in 20 years before Part 1. Have like a little prequel or something to that effect. But it was actually really good, guys. I liked the movie, liked the gore. Surprised who the killers were, honestly. The entire time you thought it was some of the kids, but it actually ended up being some of the parents. That shit shocked the shit out of me. Again, I don't want to tell you too much. It has been out for a while, but because it is about to be Halloween in a couple weeks, I wanted to throw in there some like scary movies or some slasher movies. So that's why I'm bringing these up today. So again, solid 8 overall for Fear Street Prom Queen, guys. Highly recommend. It's on Netflix right now. You guys go watch it. Sinners. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Did not like Sinners, and I went to the theaters to watch it. I'm not gonna lie though. The aesthetic of this movie, Sinners, the time frame, the outfits, the cars, the town, the old rural Georgia, um, the dirt roads, how they were talking, how they were acting, the smokehouse or smokestack twins. Amazing how they did it. But I would give it a 10 just off the look of the movie. Not gonna lie. The way the movie was made, how it was done, amazing. The movie was a fucking 10 visually. Now the story, have to give it a 4. I'm sorry. Just couldn't do it. Um, think about it. How does it that you have this star-studded cast, like all these fucking people in this movie, and the story was lackluster? I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate. People love Michael B. Jordan. I've liked him in the Rocky remakes, all those movies that he was in. So I like him. I liked him in Marvel. Um, just could not get into this movie. So one part in particular, right? And I'm pretty sure by now everybody's seen Sinners, but one part in particular, the vampire was being chased by a group of native Indians. They were hunting him down. They chased him to like a farmhouse, and the farmers there protected the vampire and allowed him into the house. Well, once you allow them into the house, they have free reign. They have to be invited into your house. If they didn't get invited, he wouldn't be able to kill nobody. So in that part there, when he got invited into the house, he killed the man first. The wife kind of got the Indians to shy away, like kind of brushed them off, like y'all got to get out of here. There's nobody here by that name. And the Indians were like, "Yo, he's not what it seems. He's not what it seems. He's something else. I'm telling you, he's something else." Well, in that mindset, the Indians noticed that it was getting dark. They were like, "We're out. Let's get the fuck out of here." They leave. Well, when the wife goes checks on the husband and the vampire, the husband's dead. And what really bothered me when he killed the husband, or at least turned the husband, there was a crib inside of that house. So was the wife pregnant, or did they leave the baby there to die, or did they just completely kill the baby and left? All right. So that's one part I thought was really stupid. Another part of this movie, the Indians never showed up again. They're chasing him in the front half of the movie. They never show back up from what, and if they did, I didn't see it. Maybe I fell asleep, but I sure as hell did not see it in Sinners. Um, how they were all having the party in the farmhouse. Then they got attacked by the vampires. They got invited in. They had a whole bunch of musicians playing. They went from playing, I think it was like blues or jazz, went to playing rock and roll, fucking DJing. Like you had different eras showing up in the barn, even though it was like in rural Georgia when there was barely electricity. Like, what the fuck is going on? And again, what was the purpose of the Indian tribe chasing the vampire to never show up again in the movie? What the fuck? Don't make any sense. For me, they had no purpose of even being in the story. It could have just been he said, "Hey, I'm being chased." They allowed him in. Boom, he kills both of the people, turns them. Boom, they're slaves to the vampire. All right, it just didn't make sense. A lot. This movie just the story didn't make sense. I'm sorry, like, and I know a lot of people voted this one of the best fucking movies. A lot of people voted this movie like, "Oh my god, it's the best of all time. It's the best movie of the year." No, watch it yourself. Visually, like I said, if it was just based off of what it looked like, this movie was a fucking 10. But the story dropped the shit down all the way to a 4. I'm sorry, guys. But again, these are my two movie reviews. Prom Queen, Fear Street Prom Queen. It's on Netflix. Great movie, great gore. Can't wait to see part 2 or a prequel to that movie because they had a trilogy before Fear Street. So Fear Street Prom Queen. Hopefully, we get another one coming up. But Sinners got, and I give that movie Prom Queen, Fear Street Prom Queen, and solid 8. Solid 8. I'm telling you, that movie was good. Reminded me of like I Know What You Did Last Summer / Scream type vibes. That's what I got from that movie. Sinners. I wanted to like this fucking movie. I wanted to like Sinners, but I couldn't. I'm sorry. It needed a lot more. And people over there, yeah, the cast was they had an amazing cast in this fucking movie, but I couldn't get into it. Like I was literally sitting there looking at my watch the entire time, like, when the fuck is this movie gonna end, bro? Like the movie was so fucking slow. The Stackhouse twins kept like meeting people from their past, talking about they robbed Al Capone, and they were collecting people to come sing at their farmhouse, and they were passing around beer. It just I just couldn't. I'm sorry. I wanted to like it, but honestly, the story was horrible. Again, recommend Fear Street Prom Queen. Give it a solid 8. Sinners, I'm sorry, I give you a 4. If it was just based off of the aesthetic of what it looked like, it would have gotten a 10, but the story dropped it all the way down to a 4 again. All right, guys. And again, I wanted to talk about these movies because it's kind of like slasher vampire vibes. We're in October. Halloween's coming soon, so I just wanted to throw that out there. You guys could watch both, but I personally only recommend watching Fear Street Prom Queen. Sinners, watch it if you want, but it's not as good as everybody says. But you be the judge. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great one.